Hi, Lakewood Lifeguards. I'm so glad that you have joined the team this year. This is an exciting year. We've got a lot of new students. We've got a lot of, I think, excitement, things we're trying that are new. And boy, you know, I couldn't do these things without you. And I also am just praising the Lord that the Lord put the call on your heart to work with students, because I'll tell you, these are some amazing kids. And we want to help in that discipleship process. Well, hey, I'm just going to be doing these videos about every 2 weeks just to kind of give you a heads up on some things. I'll shoot you out an email or Facebook update as well, but I just wanted you to have a video that would give you maybe a little bit more detail than, say, an email would. So here's a couple things. This video will have a preview, kind of looking ahead at our lesson that's coming up and what we want you to do for that week in small group. We'll give you some tips how to make your small group even more effective. You know, what are some things that you can do to get better discussion? How can you connect with your students to develop that? And then we'll probably end with some announcements. And the idea behind the announcements is just to help you be part of our recruiting when it comes to certain events and doing certain things, to get some enthusiasm, because if you're sharing the things that we're sharing from stage and you know about them, it's just going to be a lot easier to tell them. So that's part of what the video will be. The goal is to have this about 5 minutes long, in that vicinity. The first one here might be just a tad longer, but not much. But here, let's get started. So we need to start out right, okay? So small groups start up October 4th, and we got them pretty consistently through the month of October and November. So here's what we want to do. First of all, I would suggest, whenever you get to Lakewood, the earlier you can get there, the better. Find some of your kids, wherever they may be in the Great Hall, hallway, any eating or whatever. Sit by them, talk with them, greet them. It may not be a long conversation, maybe just saying hello, and that's okay. Greet them so that you are making the contact with them, so that they see you even before you get into small group. The other thing is help, maybe find a couple of them that can help you with some things in your small group. For instance, take attendance. Ask somebody before you even go in, hey, would you be willing to take attendance for us this evening? And then maybe that you need some verses read. So pull out some verses you know you're going to be reading, and then say, hey, can you read these today? Now, if somebody might decline, that's okay. Say, hey, no problem. I can find somebody else, but it gives you a contact. It tells you that you trust them. So that's a good thing. The other thing is we really got to learn the group, the kids' names in the group, okay? And so here's one of the little tips that I can give you. The first couple weeks, just have a piece of paper. If you're in a small group, in a circle or whatever, this works. Just write down, as they introduce themselves, just write down their name in order on the sheet. And so as you look at the sheet, it kind of directs right toward who it is. And so the idea behind it is then it becomes a great list for your prayer requests. But whenever you're referring to them, you can look at that and look at them and refer to them by name. The more you use their name amongst the other kids in the room that may not know them, they'll get to learn their names. So it's just a simple tip. But, you go, well, the kids really want me to know their name. Well, you know what? It takes all of us some time to learn names. So don't feel bad. After a few weeks, you might say, nah, I don't need this list anymore. I've got a pretty good handle on their names. All right, so in the lesson time, you're going to have about 45 minutes from start to finish. That's not including the time to come over and hang out, get to your class or whatever. But here's how it works. 5 minutes just to connect, okay? Names, funny stories, whatever you want to do. But 5 minutes, you really got to time it. 30-35 minutes you need to be in your small group discussion, going through the lesson, reviewing what was talked about in the video, but then, hey, how do we bring this home? And then 5 to 7 minutes we want you to kind of use as a closing time, closing thought, one thing at a minimum that they can just take with them to apply. How will Thursday morning be different at school or wherever they're at? And then take some prayer requests and pray for one another. In the beginning, it might just be you praying for a few of the students, but hopefully as time goes on, they'll see that it's nice for other students to pray for one another and communicate with God. Well, I just want to finish up with a couple other things. These are more of a housekeeping thing. So here's the deal. When you are over at the Great Hall, you'll have a bin in your room to begin with. That's where you'll find it. Your attendance sheet's in there, candy's in there, and so what we're asking you is when you're done that night, bring your candy, or well, bring your bin and your attendance sheet back to the info desk, and then Kelly will get the attendance sheet from you for your group that night. If you're over in the office building, just grab your bin, do your thing, just put your bin back and leave it where it was, and then we'll grab it the next day as well. The important thing is we need your attendance sheets. And the important thing about this is if you've got students coming to your group that have not been to your group, we need to know about them. So you need to write their names on there. Now, I can't tell you how it'll all work, but if they come with a friend that's not normally somebody from Lakewood, okay, then they'll probably be in the group. Okay. Now, if there's somebody that's just showing up and we know about them, but they just want to go to what group they want to go to, they can be at your group that night. We don't want to disrupt too much, but we do need to know they're in there because we may move them based on what our other groups are available. So I just want to keep you up to speed on that. The last thing is you can distribute that candy in their bin however you'd like. We'll just refresh it each time. And so if you want to, feel free to give it out as prizes, give it out as just because they behaved well, whatever you want to do. That's fine with us. And then just a last reminder, we've got the lifeguard training meeting, which is only just over an hour on Sunday, October 15th at 12:15. It starts in room 174. You can bring a sack lunch if you want, but we'll be done right around 1:15, 1:30 at the absolute latest. All right, well, that's all for this one. Take care, and God bless, and I'm praying for you.